What if everything you thought you knew about Cindy Williams' passing was wrong? For decades, fans have mourned the loss of the Laverne and Shirley star, piecing together rumors, speculation, and half-truths. But now, at 68, Cindy's sister has broken decades of silence, and what she reveals is nothing short of explosive. It's a story filled with heartbreak, hidden struggles, and family secrets that the public never saw. This isn't the usual celebrity farewell. It's a powerful, emotional confession that flips the narrative on its head. Footage of Cindy's most iconic moments, interviews from her prime, and glimpses into her private life all come crashing into focus as new details emerge. Details that the media missed or ignored. Why did the family stay silent for so long? What really happened behind closed doors? And how does this change everything we believed about Cindy's final years? Stay tuned, because what her sister reveals will shock you and change how we remember this beloved star forever. And just when you think you've heard it all, the story takes an unexpected turn that no one saw coming. Cindy Williams wasn't just a name on TV. She was a cultural icon, best known for her role as Shirley on Laverne and Shirley. Cindy captured the hearts of millions with her charm, wit, and unmistakable energy. The show, a massive hit in the late 70s and early 80s, made her a household name overnight. But beyond the laughs and catchy theme songs, Cindy's career was a roller coaster of highs and lows. She started young, breaking into Hollywood at a time when women often had to fight just to be heard. Off-screen, Cindy's life was anything but simple. Behind her sunny persona were battles with health, family issues, and a Hollywood machine that wasn't always kind. Fans loved her for her infectious smile and relatable characters, but few really knew what was going on beneath the surface. Her public image painted a perfect picture, but like many stars of her era, Cindy had private struggles she kept locked away. Over the years, the actress slowly stepped back from the spotlight, leaving fans wondering why, and speculating endlessly about what was happening behind the scenes. Her passing left a hole in the entertainment world, but also left unanswered questions. What led to her decision to step away? What challenges did she face as her health declined? And how did those closest to her cope with what was really happening? As we dive deeper, it's clear Cindy's story was far more complicated than most realized, and understanding her background is key to grasping the full impact of her sister's recent revelations. When Cindy Williams quietly stepped away from the public eye, very little was said about her personal struggles or health challenges. Her family chose to keep their grief and private battles tightly guarded, refusing interviews or public statements. This silence left a significant gap, one that fans, media, and gossip outlets eagerly tried to fill with speculation. Without official information, the rumor mill went into overdrive, and over time, countless theories circulated about what might have really happened during Cindy's final years. Some speculated that Cindy's health had taken a sudden and severe turn for the worse, pointing to rare appearances and vague updates. Others whispered about deeper issues, including struggles with addiction or emotional pain that were never publicly acknowledged. Social media only added fuel to the fire, where unverified reports and hearsay spread rapidly, sometimes turning into widely accepted facts. The lack of transparency created an environment ripe for misunderstanding and false narratives. Friends and colleagues who knew Cindy personally often spoke in guarded terms, expressing sorrow but carefully avoiding specifics. Some hinted at the difficulties she faced, but without concrete details, their words only added to the mystery. This cautious approach was understandable. Grieving families often prioritize privacy, especially when dealing with sensitive issues. It also reflected a desire to protect Cindy's dignity and legacy from a harsh scrutiny that often follows public figures after their deaths. However, this silence came at a cost. The absence of clear answers allowed rumors to overshadow Cindy's legacy, distracting from the career she worked so hard to build. It also left fans confused and searching for clarity, unsure which stories to believe. In many ways, the family's decision to keep quiet was both a shield and a source of unintended speculation. It wasn't just about withholding information. It was about managing grief in a way that felt safest to them. Now, decades later, Cindy's sister has chosen to step forward and break that silence. Her decision to share the truth comes after years of reflection and offers long-awaited clarity about Cindy's final years in passing. This new account promises to dispel many of the rumors that have swirled for so long, providing a first-hand perspective that only a close family member could offer. Understanding the reasons behind a family's silence is crucial to grasping the full story. It helps explain why misinformation spread so easily and why fans were left in the dark for so long. More importantly, it sets the stage for the revelations that follow, details that will challenge what we thought we knew and offer a deeper, more human look at Cindy Williams' life beyond the screen. After decades of silence, Cindy Williams' sister, now 68, has finally stepped forward to share her side of the story, one that changes everything fans thought they knew. Her decision to speak out was not easy. For years, she kept the family's pain and struggles hidden, protecting Cindy's memory and preserving their privacy. But as time passed, she realized that silence was allowing rumors to overshadow the truth. Now, her revelations provide a deeply personal and emotional glimpse into Cindy's final years, details that were never made public before. The sister paints a picture of a woman who faced mounting challenges, both physical and emotional, but who remained fiercely private. Cindy's health issues, while serious, were more complex than simple speculation suggested. The sister describes a battle with chronic illness, something Cindy fought bravely yet quietly, unwilling to burden others or make it a public matter. This wasn't a sudden decline some believed. It was a long, difficult journey marked by resilience. But the story doesn't stop with health. The sister reveals moments of family tension and heartbreak that contributed to Cindy's struggles, dynamics that were kept out of the spotlight to protect everyone involved. These personal hardships shaped Cindy's later years in ways fans never saw, showing a side of her life that was far from the glitz and glamour of Hollywood. Perhaps most striking is the sister's explanation of why the family chose silence for so long. It wasn't just about privacy. It was about healing. They needed time to process their grief away from the public eye, to come to terms with their loss without the added pressure of media scrutiny. This confession adds layers to the story, making it clear that Cindy's passing was not just a headline, but a profound family tragedy. What's more, the sister addresses some of the most persistent rumors head-on. She gently dispels false narratives about addiction or reckless behavior, emphasizing Cindy's dignity and strength throughout her illness. By doing so, she hopes to honor Cindy's legacy accurately, giving fans a truthful account free from sensationalism. This revelation is more than a family statement. It's a chance for fans to understand a real person behind the star, to see Cindy as her sister did, a woman of courage, complexity, and love, fighting battles that many never knew existed. As this new chapter unfolds, it invites viewers to rethink everything they assumed and to appreciate the human story behind the headlines. With this breakthrough, the silence is finally broken, and what comes next will only deepen the understanding of Cindy Williams' life, her struggles, and the truth her family has kept close for so many years. As Cindy Williams moved away from the bright lights of Hollywood, her life grew more complicated than most fans ever realized. The sister's recent revelations reveal a series of personal and health challenges that slowly but steadily shaped Cindy's final years. Far from the carefree image many remembered, Cindy faced ongoing battles that tested her strength in ways rarely seen by the public. One of the biggest challenges was her health. Cindy dealt with a chronic illness that gradually affected her daily life. It wasn't an overnight change, but a slow decline that demanded resilience and privacy. The sister describes how Cindy handled her condition with quiet determination, often downplaying symptoms and avoiding public sympathy. This made it harder for fans to grasp the full extent of her struggles, because Cindy chose to keep her pain behind closed doors, away from headlines and gossip. Alongside her health, Cindy faced emotional hardships that were deeply tied to family and personal relationships. The sister mentioned periods of loneliness and emotional strain, some stemming from complicated family dynamics and the inevitable challenges of aging in an industry that often sidelines women after their peak. These unseen battles contributed to Cindy's retreat from public life, creating a quiet solitude that only those closest to her fully understood. Another difficulty was coping with the fading spotlight. Cindy had been a star at a time when television shaped pop culture, but as the years passed, fewer roles and public appearances came her way. This shift weighed heavily on her. Losing the platform where she had made her mark was more than a career issue. It was deeply personal. The sister explained how Cindy sometimes wrestled with this loss of visibility, which added to her emotional burdens. Despite these challenges, Cindy remained grounded by the love of her family, who stood by her side through thick and thin. The sisters' account shows how family was both a source of strength and complexity, with moments of closeness shadowed by difficult conversations and unspoken pain. This complicated dynamic was another factor Cindy had to navigate, all while managing her illness and the emotional toll it took. The sisters' reflections make it clear that Cindy's final years were shaped by a mix of resilience, hardship, and quiet courage. It wasn't just about the physical toll of illness, but the emotional weight that came with living life mostly out of the public eye. The challenges Cindy faced reveal a side of her that fans rarely saw, a woman confronting her vulnerabilities, while holding on to the grace and humor that had always defined her. As we understand these struggles, it's easy to see why Cindy's passing left so many questions unanswered for so long. The sisters' willingness to share these insights now offers a more compassionate and complete picture, honoring Cindy's journey to the highs and lows with honesty and respect. Over the years since Cindy Williams stepped away from the public eye, rumors and controversies began to swirl around her life and passing, many of which her family never responded to until now. The silence from those closest to Cindy created a vacuum that was quickly filled with speculation, much of it misleading or outright false. Now, her sister has taken the rare step of confronting these stories head-on, aiming to clear the air and honor Cindy's memory with honesty. One of the most persistent rumors suggested Cindy struggled with addiction issues. While gossip sites and social media whispered about substance problems, the sister firmly denies these claims. She explains that Cindy faced serious health challenges, but never let those battles cross into the territory of substance abuse. This clarification is important because it cuts through damaging assumptions and respects Cindy's dignity. Her sister's words serve as a reminder that public figures are often subjected to unfair scrutiny, especially when families choose privacy over publicity. Another controversial topic involves speculation about family disputes contributing to Cindy's difficulties. The sister acknowledges that, like any family, there's a moment of tension and conflict, but she stresses that nothing unhealthy or harmful influenced Cindy's well-being in a dramatic or destructive way. These admissions bring a human element to the story. Families are complicated, but conflict doesn't always define the experience. Rather than scandal, these were normal struggles that shaped Cindy's life quietly and personally. There were also rumors about the circumstances surrounding Cindy's passing, some insinuations that it was sudden or mysterious. The sister's account provides clarity, describing a long illness that was closely managed and fought with courage. She emphasizes that Cindy's passing, while deeply tragic, was not shrouded in suspicious circumstances, but was a result of a difficult health battle. This clears up misconceptions and helps fans understand the truth without sensationalism. Importantly, the sister addresses the media's role in fueling some of the more damaging stories. She points out how the lack of official information led to guesswork and sometimes harsh judgments from the public. The desire for a quick story often overshadowed empathy for Cindy and her family. Her decision to finally speak is a way to reclaim the narrative and replace rumor with reality. This section of the story highlights a crucial lesson about celebrity and privacy. When families choose silence, it can unintentionally invite speculation that distorts the truth. Cindy Williams' sister's revelations encourage us to look beyond the headlines and consider complexities behind the stories we think we know. By setting the record straight, the sister not only defends Cindy's legacy, but also shines a light on the pressures and challenges that come with being a public figure. It's a powerful reminder that behind every rumor is a person, and often a family, dealing with very real emotions and struggles far from the public eye. With Cindy Williams' sister finally revealing the truth behind her passing, fans are left with new, deeper understanding of the woman they admire for decades. This revelation doesn't just fill in blanks. It reshapes the way we think about Cindy's life, struggles, and the legacy she leaves behind. For many, it's a moment to move past the rumors and see Cindy as her family did. A resilient, complex individual who faced her challenges with quiet strength. Fans often connect to celebrities through their work, the characters they bring to life, and the memories they create. Cindy's role as Shirley Feeney was a cultural touchstone, a beacon of humor and warmth in millions of homes. But this new insight reminds us that behind the laughter was a real person, with a life filled with both joy and hardship. It invites fans to appreciate Cindy beyond the screen, to acknowledge the battles she fought quietly, away from public view. This family revelation also encourages fans to be more compassionate in how they engage with celebrity stories. Too often, the hunger for drama leads to misunderstandings and unfair judgments. Cindy's story shows how damaging speculation can be when it replaces facts. It's a call to respect privacy and recognize the humanity in the people we admire, especially when they're no longer here to tell their own story. Moreover, this insight adds a layer of richness to Cindy's legacy. Instead of a one-dimensional figure frozen in time, she emerges as a woman who evolved, struggled, and triumphed in her own way. Fans can now honor her not only for her iconic roles, but also for her courage in facing personal trials. This fuller picture enriches her place in entertainment history and gives her story new emotional resonance. For the family, this revelation is also a form of healing. By sharing their truth, Cindy's sister invites fans to understand the deep love and respect they have for Cindy, despite the hardships. It bridges the gap between public perception and private reality, offering closure to years of unanswered questions. This transparency helps preserve Cindy's memory in a way that feels honest and heartfelt. Looking forward, these revelations could inspire new conversations about the challenges celebrities face behind the scenes, especially women navigating aging, illness, and personal struggles under the spotlight. Cindy's story becomes part of a larger dialogue about mental health, privacy, and respect for those who dedicate their lives to entertainment. Ultimately, fans are encouraged to remember Cindy Williams as more than a star. They're invited to remember her as a human being who gave her all, faced adversity with grace, and left a lasting impact that goes far beyond her television roles. This legacy, now clearer and more complete, is a tribute to her enduring spirit and the family who loved her fiercely. As Cindy Williams' sister finally steps into the light to share the truth behind her passing, it's clear this story is more than just a revelation. It's a powerful reminder of the complexity behind public figures and the families who love them. For decades, Cindy was remembered mainly for her iconic role as Shirley Feeney. But this new chapter shows us the woman behind the fame, her struggles, her strength, and the family's deep pain. The sisters' decision to break decades of silence changes everything. It offers long overdue clarity that helps us move past rumors and misunderstandings. More importantly, it gives Cindy the respect and dignity she deserves, reminding us all that public personas often mask private battles that remain unseen. What was once speculation becomes human story, full of nuance and compassion. This story challenges us to rethink how we engage with celebrity news. Too often, we jump to conclusions without understanding the full picture. Cindy's family's silence wasn't about hiding a scandal. It was about protecting love, healing wounds, and preserving memories. Now that silence has been lifted, we can appreciate the reality of Cindy's life and legacy in a more honest light. For fans, this is a moment to reflect, not just on Cindy's career, but on fragility of life and the unseen struggles that many face. It's a call to empathy, urging us to look beyond the headlines and see the people who live behind the cameras. Cindy's journey, revealed through her sister's words, reminds us of resilience in the face of hardship and the enduring power of family. Looking forward, these revelations may inspire a deeper respect for the privacy of those in the public eye, especially when they are navigating personal hardships. Cindy Williams' story stands as a testament to courage, love, and the complexity of human experience, elements that should never be reduced to gossip or rumors. In the end, Cindy's legacy is not just about the laughter she brought to screens, but about the courage she showed in her private life. Her sister's brave decision to share their truth opens a door to understanding and healing. It invites us to remember Cindy Williams as a whole person, a beloved star, a fighter, and a sister who is finally able to tell the story her family has carried for so long. As we close this chapter, it's worth asking, how many other stories remain untold behind the glitz and glamour? And how can we, as viewers and fans, approach those stories with more kindness and care? Cindy's life and her sister's words leave us with these questions that linger long after the video ends. Thanks for watching and taking the time to hear Cindy Williams' story from a whole new perspective. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe for more. Until next time, stay curious and take care.